Inspired greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Stephanie D. Burrows, and I just want to share a few things with you about true grit. I saw it happening this past Saturday, just from all of the people, and I mean, they said about 550,000, over 500,000 people who showed up in Washington, D.C. this past Saturday for the Women's March on Washington. Listen, these people got up. They traveled from the night before, early morning to get there to be a part of a historic moment. Little bitty kids, like infants with their parent or parents, young children, 6, 7, 8 years old and more, were there. And what really impressed me with those that I saw, the fathers brought their daughters, young daughters, elementary school daughters, high school daughters, college daughters. I mean, that was really just blew my mind. Just the father and the daughter blew my mind. I thought it was so awesome. And some of them talked about their rationale and their reasoning for wanting to be there and for wanting to have their daughters there with them. So it was great, absolutely phenomenal. But I have to first stop and thank two people, because were it not for them, I wouldn't have made it there. And they were very gracious and blessed me with the opportunity. And that's Gloria Durham, and then our awesome driver, Melanie McCrae. And Melanie drove us down there. We left really early in the morning. We stopped in Greenbelt, Maryland, because she had been told you're not going to be able to park in D.C., so make the stop at Greenbelt where there's the metro. Although we did not anticipate that maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to put it out there, 1,000 folks easily. I said we could have a march right here, right now. And so it took us 3 hours before we actually arrived in D.C. proper. The lines were so long. And we had plenty of time to network with others and to watch the procession of signage while we waited. It was just amazing, the creativity, the costumes, more creativity, the passion that people had for their causes and for their rationale and the reasons for wanting to be there. It wasn't just one thing. People had all different causes that they were representing, but we were all there as one, as women. The main thing being promoting our cause as women, our rights as women, and so much more. I'm not going to get into all of that. I just want to say thank you to Melanie, because standing all of that time and then climbing up escalators that weren't running and standing more on trains and finally getting where you're going, and then walking and more standing and more walking and more standing, and it was just wild. And by the time we left to start back, that meant more standing in a line to get trains out, because there were so many people. I'm telling you, we just literally crashed Washington, D.C. So getting in and out was challenging. There were trains breaking down. I'm telling you, we crashed the trains. They were breaking down. There were just so many people. So more waiting. By the time we left and we finally got back to Greenbelt to the car, and Melanie, I got to give it to you, because her knee was swollen and in pain. She changed out wraps. And despite the fact that she had been offered the opportunity to switch up with someone to drive, she drove us all the way back. I know it wasn't simple for her. I know that wasn't easy. I know that was nothing but what I call the grit factor, or otherwise true grit. And there were many out there that demonstrated true grit. I mean, the people that drove from all over the country, folks that came down in buses, even from Toronto, Canada. Absolutely mind-boggling, the amount of grit that people demonstrated. Some people found a station closer to D.C., but still, once they parked, they walked 3 miles to get there. Wow. I have to wonder how many of you have that same grit, fortitude, resilience, the I'm not quitting attitude, nothing stopping me attitude. How many of you are grounded, really, in your core beliefs, because I saw a lot of people there. They were there because of their core beliefs, their core values. I'll put it that way, their core values. And I saw that grit demonstrated right in my face. But how many of you demonstrate the same amount of grit in every other aspect of your lives and in your business? And I say this because a lot of you know you need to get certified as a minority woman or a small disadvantage or 8A husband and all the rest of that. But you've been backing off from it. I don't know what your rationale is. Perhaps you need to rethink that. Perhaps you just needed a guide. Perhaps you didn't really understand the power in that certification that somebody else told you you needed. Perhaps you were overwhelmed. I don't know. There could be many, many reasons why. All I'm saying to you is come on out and join me January 26th in Avenel, New Jersey at the Comfort in Woodbridge. I'm going to post the information. You'll see it right here on this video. I'll be going over the diversity certifications from confusion. I know a lot of you are confused. Into clarity, because by the time you leave me, you're going to really have an understanding of who your niche market is and what they require, which of these certifications, because you don't need them all, just those that are required by your particular niche market. And so we're going to really do some practices to help you carve that out, to really get finite on who you're going after that business with. And you're going to know which ones you need. And we're going to go over and do an overview, a high-level overview of all of the different certs, both from the private sector to the public sector to the government sector, and the differences. You're going to have a chance to practice some things that will allow you to be much more impactful in your marketing of your certifications. So I just want to share that little bit with you, that tidbit, and let you know there's so much more coming at you. It's a highly interactive workshop, so you got to be ready to come and work. I'll have the link to where you can register and much more detailed information about the benefits as well as what we're going to cover. I hope that you'll pull up your grit factor, your true grit. Come on out, because when you leave, you're not going to feel confused. You're not going to be confused. You're not going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be confident that now you can move forward to get them done. So let me see your true grit shine at my diversity certification workshop, From Confusion to Clarity. This January 26, 2017, this Thursday. And I'm looking forward to being your guide. I'm Dr. Stephanie D. Burrows, president of Stephanie Speaking, speaker, workshop facilitator, business navigator, and author.